look at you. What are you doing, Keith?
I'm here in contemplation. It's part of my job, you know, just sitting here thinking.
Oh, I've got an idea for you. You could start your own circus troupe. You could call them the Reclining Walindas. I'm sure they'd be a big hit. Why aren't you out looking for Mason? Why aren't you scurrying around this town making sure no stone is left unturned?
You actually believe that cockamamie story? Mason was burned to death in a fire.
They found a tooth, Keith. One tooth.
One tooth is enough to make a positive ID.
Not for me. Doesn't prove anything to my satisfaction.
Just because it wasn't sharper than a serpent's tooth, you don't think it was Mason's?
Why don't you dispense with the jokes and just go look for Mason?
You know something? I know why you're so gung-ho for this search, because you still have something, you know what I mean? Something for him. You're still suffering from unrequited love for Mason Capwell.
Keith, you're being ridiculous. I explained to you last night why I want to find Mason.
Oh, well, you were gasping so much when you mentioned his name, I guess I just didn't hear it.
Why do you pick a time like this to be jealous? I mean, it's silly.
Should I wait until there's something to be jealous of? Will such a day ever dawn?
I want to find Mason because I think it will make Julia Wainwright eternally grateful to you. And maybe she'll forget about a few of your little indiscretions down here at your office. And maybe you can keep your job, which means maybe you can keep collecting your paycheck, which means we'll have money to eat, to sleep, to pay our bills. Just go and find him, will you, Keith? And don't make me explain this to you again.
What profits a man if he gains the whole world but loses his Gina?
You're gonna lose me? Lose me to what? To who? Why would I give you up? The master of the single entendre. The lover of ages as long as they're under 20. D.A. extraordinaire. Now get off your duff and find Mason.
Please rise. It's been a long time, Michael.
Yes, it has.
I wish it could have been a longer time if I'd known that our reunion would be held under such a cloud. I never thought I'd be calling you back to answer such grave accusations.
I'm sorry.
The day you became a priest, you vowed to honor the laws of God and the laws of the church. You've broken those vows. You've brought dishonor to the church, and you've deeply disappointed those who put their trust in you. Are you aware the Archbishop is calling for your dismissal?
I think you're getting your hopes up prematurely.
No, we're not. They now know conclusively that Mason did not die in that fire.
Well, except why hasn't he tried to contact us?
He could have been badly injured in the explosion, and that's what worries me most.
So how do we start? Where do we begin to look for him?
Cruz has
Look,
some
I
ideas
realize
how
it's
to do
impossible
what
not to get excited by the thought that he may be alive. But the evidence still says he isn't.
Well, now, wait a minute. What about this nun that said she saw him leave the fire?
She saw a man she believes was Mason. That's not much to go on. That's just her word on that.
She's an eyewitness, though.
She's
Chris.
also a patient in the psychiatric wing of the hospital. I mean, until we get some proof that really is true, I don't want anybody to start counting on this.
Well, I think we should. I have never accepted Mason's death, any more than you accepted it when Eden was missing. Now, if there is a remote possibility that Mason is alive, I want an all-out search mounted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to be a part of it.
I want to, too.
Well, so what do we do?
Where do we start?
We start at the night of the fire and pick up leads from there.
It's not as simple as that. I just can't go out and look. I mean, what do you think I've been giving it all this thought for? I have to work up some sort of strategy.
Well, I don't see what the problem is.
Well, the biggest problem is I have to compete with Cruz, Julia, the entire Capwell clan. Cece probably has a National Guard called up already.
I've never seen you so negative, Keith.
Oh.
You used to welcome a chance to outdo the Capwells. I mean, where is the cutting edge? Where's your fighting
Oh,
spirit?
please. The only time I ever beat the Capwells was when I resorted to dastardly deeds.
So, what's stopping you?
You reformed me, remember?
Well, we'll forget about that. I mean, you've got to resort to dastardly deeds. I mean, it's your stock in trade. I mean, not resorting them to them would be like, well, being King Arthur and going out without your sword. Look, if you want to be good, do it on the weekend. But during the week, you're going to have to use dishonesty to win this battle.
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
Well, it may not be what you want to hear, Keith, but it's the truth. I mean, everyone has something they're best at, and you are best at your worst.
Whatever happened to our declaration of decency? I'm bound to that, you know.
You're an attorney. Find a loophole.
Yes, I am an attorney. There are no loopholes. I signed it.
Well, you didn't sign it in blood.
Honey, don't you have any respect at all? Don't you think anything of covenants?
Not if they were obtained under duress. I mean, maybe you acted too hastily. It's never too late to turn over a new leaf, and maybe you just turned one over too early.
So you're saying I should forget the Declaration of Decency?
Well, I'm not saying that. Just put it on mothballs for a month or so.
But, honey, would you continue to respect me if I turn my back on our agreement?
Continue to respect you. That's a trick question.
Respect me at all!
Sure. I mean, I like a idealist that's practical.
Well, no one can say that you are not permissive. Would you happen to have said document on you right now?
Never leave home without it.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Oh, honey, I think mothballs is too good for this. I think they should get the Guy Fawkes treatment. You know what I mean? Burnt in effigy. Sort of feels like voodoo. Beginning to feel like myself already. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're beginning to look like yourself, too, Keith. Oh, yeah. The teeth are growing. Let me see. Your teeth are growing. I think the ears are getting a little longer there. You almost look like my old Keithy baby.
I
hey,
do,
good to
don't
have
I?
you back,
I
doll.
miss me, too. Bring on the Catwells!
The lengths that I went to protect Sarah were wrong. But I believed at the time that I was doing the right thing.
Do you still feel that?
No. I realize now that I only hurt the people that I wanted to protect. And I hurt other innocent people, too.
Michael, I've known you a long time. I like to think that I helped you along the path you've chosen.
More than anybody else.
Then I think you owe it to me to tell me honestly. Are you still committed to the church?
With all my heart. Priesthood means more to me than I can express.
I wondered about that. I've always been haunted by the feeling that perhaps you found refuge in the church after you left the police force.
Well, I did find a kind of refuge. There were a lot of things that I needed to escape from. But that wasn't one of my reasons for dedicating my life to God.
And have you come to terms with that accidental shooting? Michael, have you learned to forgive yourself?
I don't think I can ever forgive myself. It's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. But my work in the church has shown me that I can do that, and that you don't have to be crippled by mistakes that you made in your past. And I believe that I can help other people to learn the same thing.
Yes. I really believe you're sincere about that.
There is no way that I can undo the harm that I've done. But I want very much to continue in the priesthood. I want to atone for my sins. And I want to make whatever reparations I can to the people that I've hurt. Please allow me to do that.
Michael, you've disobeyed the laws of God and the laws of the church. Now, the church cannot stand such disobedience. You can't make up the rules as you go along. That's usurping a higher power. For the time being, I'm going to relieve you of your duties at the convent. Until we find what disciplinary action has been decided on, I want you to leave your post at the convent and remain unassigned.
What about Sarah and Agatha?
They'll each receive the help and care they've needed for so long. But I want you to relinquish them to the custodial care of the church. Now, for the next month, Michael, I want you to report to me on a regular basis. And I want you to engage in rigorous self-examination.
I will.
Michael, I had such hopes for you. There was a time when I thought you could go as far in the church as you wished. But now I have to tell you, your future looks very uncertain. I'll do what I can to intercede for you.
I appreciate your faith in me and your advocacy. And I will accept whatever disciplinary action is taken. But I want to stay a priest. I need to pay
Michael,
for...
Michael, it isn't what you want that matters now. What matters is what's best for the church.
You know, I'm going to do everything under the sun to find him if there's any chance Mason is still alive.
Yeah, and we can help you, Cruz. You just tell us what you want us to do.
Well, in something like this, there's always a lot of legwork that has to be done first. I think the most important thing you can do right now is just not talk about it to anybody.
Especially not to Timmons.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a disaster if he... What about the press? Lydia Saunders finds out about this, it's a complete disaster.
Is there anything else we can do to help besides keeping quiet?
No, just go about your business. Act as if nothing's going on. I'll be working with Julia on this. We'll have the resources of the DA's office and the police department. We've got to be very careful that Timmons doesn't get wind of what we're doing.
All right, as long as we know what we're doing, let's go do it.
Wait, Cruz, I need to talk to you for a minute, okay?
Sure.
I'm gonna call Rupert, and I'm gonna tell him I want to put this story on hold for a little while, okay?
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
I really won't be able to concentrate on this story. I promise you I won't, as long as I know that Mason might be out there.
You can't help right now. I mean, you started with this story because you believed it needed to be told, and that hasn't changed. You should drop it for no reason. I'm going to be here every day and night. I'll be telling you what's going on as it goes on, so don't drop it, okay?
Okay. Take care.
Yeah, you bet. I appreciate you guys going along with me in this, okay? Keep a good thought. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
I tell you, I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of being shut out of this whole thing.
No, he's right. He's right. We don't know anything about looking for people. Let's just leave it to someone who
Don't
does.
be hurt, okay? He knows what's best when it comes to looking for someone, especially Mason.
Well, it just seems to me that 3 or 4 heads are better than 1 or 2.
I think you may have just answered your own question.
Look, let's go off the subject just for a second. I want to ask your opinion on this and get a consensus here. Do you think we should tell Mom and Dad?
Well, certainly they have a right to know about this.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing to tell them.
Well, why not?
Just think of everything they've been through lately. If it turns out that Mason is not alive, we will have raised their hopes for nothing.
Absolutely.
Well, now I think that it would help bring them closer together.
I'll tell you, that's something we can't engineer. That's just something that has to happen.
You wait for something to happen, you're going to wait forever.
Okay. Since we don't agree on this, if Cruz finds out something definitive, we'll let them know right away. If he doesn't, we'll let them know in a week. How's that?
Why a week?
Well, to give him some time.
All right, that's fine. 1 week.
Me too.
Oh. Wouldn't it be something if Mason really were alive? All right, well, look, everybody, it's 10:30. I got a tennis game at 11, and I ain't got change, so I got to get out of here.
Yeah, I guess I should be going too.
Oh, listen, I wanted to talk to you for a minute. Could you stay? Sure. Okay.
Hey, Ted. Do you guys realize that today is Mom and Daddy's wedding anniversary?
Oh, is that today?
Yeah.
It's amazing they missed it by only a couple of weeks.
Technically.
You know, that makes me so sad. I mean, here's Mom and Dad separated and not even trying to make things work out. This whole family.
I wonder how they're holding up today.
I don't know. I was thinking about going over there, seeing Daddy.
Or when?
In a few minutes. I was hoping maybe you'd go with me.
I'd love to.
Okay,
Well, tell you what, after my tennis match, I'll get Mom, maybe take her out to lunch.
Oh, that would be nice. That's a
Yeah,
good
and
idea.
then I'll talk to Dad after, later on this evening.
Hold on a second.
I can't, I gotta go.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
See you, Kel.
Hi. Hello. Oh, yeah, she's right here. Hold on. For you. Your office.
Thanks. Georgia? Yeah, hi. Really, when? Oh, no. No, it's not that. It's great news. I don't know if I can take this today. Look, let me call you back in a few minutes, okay? Fine. Bye.
What's the matter?
Well, nothing really. It's good news.
Oh, good news. Yeah, it looks like good news.
Oh, there's a really terrific designer in Santa Fe. Enormously talented. His name's Esteban. I've been trying to get a meeting with him for months, and he wouldn't see me. Well, now he wants to see me today in Santa Fe.
But today?
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of guy he is, kind of spur of the moment. But this means I would have to fly down there today. And I don't know in the midst of everything that's going on if I can do that.
Oh, Kelly, there's nothing going on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but Cruz said everything was going to take time.
Yeah, but there's Mom and Daddy.
So what? Ted and I'll take care of that. You go to Santa Fe. Just tell me where you're going to be. If anything happens, I'll call you.
Okay. Listen, this means I can't go back up to the house with you.
That's all right. You can't do anything, can you?
I know.
Please, it's all right. You take care of business, and everything will be fine. I'll tell Daddy everything. Tell him you sent your love.
Well, I suppose you're right. There's not a lot I can do here.
Beautiful morning.
I think so, too. What do you say to some orange juice?
Bonjour, orange juice. But I wouldn't try to say it more than once.
You wouldn't have to. I believe in instant gratification. Here is to mornings at 10:30.
What a wonderful time, all things considered.
Mm-hmm. So what are your plans for the rest of the day?
Well, I have plans for the rest of my life. Not to waste too much time, not to get caught in too many white lies.
Uh-huh.
What sort of plans did you have?
Well, I was wondering if you're going to work or not.
I've got to finish the final edit on my story, but after that, I'm free. Why?
You have dinner with me.
You know, I work in a very high-risk business. We can never turn down dinner reservations. You never know where your next meal's coming from.
Good. Why don't you start telling me a little about the story you're writing, though? That's what I'd like to hear.
Well, you'll get to see it soon.
Well, wait a minute. How about a sneak preview?
Not a chance.
Oh, I think I can arrange it. Got some connections. I got people in high places.
DC. I like you very much. And I have a lot of fun with you. But my career is the most important thing in my life, and everything else has to come second.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that I'm interfering?
In order to stay successful, I've had to make some very hard and fast rules. And one of them is that my subjects do not preview their interviews. Are you angry?
Well, there wouldn't be much point in that, now would there?
Well, what do we do now? You're the expert. What do you normally do in situations like this?
Well, you start by dealing with what doesn't make sense. Suppose he did get out of that fire alive. How come he hasn't made any effort to contact you or anybody else in the family?
Good question, Sherlock. What do you think?
I think we have to face the possibility that something else bad might have happened. Maybe he was hurt. Maybe so severely that he didn't make it through the next couple of days.
I think that's a possibility, but I don't believe for a minute that he's dead.
Well, there must be some reason for his silence. We're going to have to go through records, look for John Does who might have turned up after the night of the explosion. It's not going to be fun poking around through that kind of stuff, going by the morgue and everything, but I think we're going to have to do it just to rule it out.
I'll go along with whatever you recommend, but I don't believe that he's dead.
Fair enough. Beyond that, police records, anything from 48 hours after the accident. Any reports that came in, calls. Maybe if we're lucky, we can interview the cops that were patrolling within a radius of, I don't know, 15 miles or so. There might have been something going on in that vicinity that would somehow be tied up in his disappearance.
Fine. I'll check the computer printouts. Michael, hi. How are you?
Good morning, Julia.
No,
Chris.
How you doing, Michael?
Fine. I wanted to see if there's been any word on Mason.
Not yet. We just started looking, but Michael's a good person to talk to Cruz because he was the last person to see Mason.
Yeah, we've already discussed this. Of course, I imagine you're pretty busy right now. If you'll excuse me, I want to get started on this record, so I'm gonna go, okay?
I'll check with you later.
All right, whenever. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
How are you?
Less than perfect. I just came from the bishop.
Oh,
He could have kicked me out, but instead he decided to relieve me of my duties at the convent, pending further punishment, and he told me to stay away from Sarah and Agatha and you.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to help you.
It's all right. I just hope that they're not too hard on you. I know how important the church is to you.
Anyway, I wish you good luck in finding him, and If Cruz needs to know anything, please have him call me.
I will.
You and Mason will be in my prayers.
Thank you. Let me know what happens.
I will.
Hi. Thank you for meeting me here.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Well, I'm actually on my way to Santa Fe, but it seemed to me that we had a little unfinished business from yesterday.
Yeah, I say we've had a little unfinished business for a long time.
I don't know how much you overheard yesterday when Ted and I were talking about Mason.
Oh, yeah, I did hear him say something about being alive. What's that
Yeah,
all
well, it's a long shot. But we're trying to keep it quiet, keep it away from the press, and I don't want my parents to know.
Why? What's wrong with secrecy?
Because we're not sure yet, and until we are, we don't want to raise anybody's hopes. And Cruz feels like if the press gets a hold of it, they're just going to get in the way.
Okay. Well, you don't have to worry about me. I won't say anything to anybody.
Thank you. I've got to go.
Oh, hold on a second. Why are you going to Santa Fe?
Well, I have a meeting with the designer there that I've been trying forever to get to come over to Armani. Esteban, do you remember him?
Oh, yeah. You actually broke that guy down?
No, but he has agreed to see me.
Well, that's great, baby. Congratulations. Well, you got to be there.
Just overnight, but I really do need to go.
You know, I feel like we got a little unfinished business ourselves. Last night, you came into the lair, and we looked at each other. I mean, we danced with each other. It's the closest I've felt with you in a long time. Why did you come there? Please tell me, baby. I gotta know.
It was a mistake, TJ. I should have never done it. I'm really sorry. Daddy?
Hello, sweetheart.
Morning, Eden.
Sorry I interrupted. I guess I should have called first.
Wait, what are you talking about? This is your home. You don't have to make a reservation. You can come here anytime you want.
If you'll excuse me, I think I'll get dressed.
That's okay. I'm not staying.
Yes, you are staying.
I have a hunch you two need to talk. Excuse me.
Look, Eden.
I don't know what to say to you.
Darling, I know this is very difficult for you to understand.
Understand? No, I don't understand. Why you would want to get involved with somebody like that?
Because she happens to be a highly intelligent, successful, quite beautiful young lady.
Daddy, she is a cold, rude, calculating, just like Pamela was, just like Gina is. All she wants is an exclusive for her story. She doesn't care about you.
Baby, I think we better not get into this. It has pitfalls we shouldn't get involved with. Why don't you tell me why you came over, huh?
I just wondered if you remembered about your and Mama's anniversary. Thought you might be a little lonely. Obviously, I was wrong.
What would you have done if I had been lonely?
Probably taken you to lunch.
Well, don't change your mind. I may not be lonely, but I am hungry. And I'd love you to take me to lunch. I made a lot of mistakes when I was covering up Mark McCormick's death. And I know that you've told me to stay away from all of that now, but what if I can't? What then?
What if you can't?
If I can help in the search for Mason, and we're lucky enough to find him, I'll feel as though I've made some amends for the mistakes I made. I'm asking you for your reconsideration and your permission.
Well, I can see this is very important to you.
It's very important.
And this woman, this Julia Wainwright, she's very important to you too, isn't she, Michael?
Yes, she is.
Maybe too important.
I am not asking to work on this case to get close to her. I want to help her find her husband. She loves him very much, and I feel responsible for the pain that this has caused her.
Very well, then. Do what you have to do.
Thank you.
Don't be so quick. You may end up not thanking me. I'm not so sure, Michael, that I'm doing you such a favor.
Julie, look at this.
What?
The night of the fire, a motorcycle was reported stolen just a couple of blocks from the convent.
Yeah, so what?
Well, if Mason did get it out of that church, he would have needed transportation, right? He might have just taken this motorcycle.
Let's check it out.
Can't hurt.
Can you hear anything?
Only you. Be still.
There you go. You know what you should do? Get 2 cans, string them together. That always works for me.
Honey, what I need here is complete silence. This is a very reliable way of eavesdropping, but I need silence and complete concentration, okay? I don't hear anything.
Now, this really is pathetic looking. Here you are, the district attorney, and you've got your ear pressed to a glass that's pressed against the wall. Don't you have any better resources?
I'm sorry, but I forgot my stethoscopes.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about high-tech listening devices. You know, little bugs, tape recorders you can hide in secret places, stuff like that.
You know, you're absolutely right. I need something like state-of-the-art to find Robin Hood and his merry men. I should keep like 1 step ahead of them, or at least in step with them.
Good. Got any ideas?
My brain is churning. You know what? Yep. I think I'm gonna put a bug in Julia's house. And then I'm gonna put a bug in her office. My goodness, she's gonna be so full of bugs. She's gonna have to get an exterminator. And you're gonna stand guard.
Oh, sure. Whatever you say.
Now back to the Emmy Award-winning Santa Barbara.
Hi, Mama. How are you? Oh, fine, good. Good. Well, I was going to come by and see you later.
No kidding. Yeah, I just took a chance that you'd be here.
I'm glad.
Why were you going to come to see me?
Oh, well, you didn't forget that today is your and Daddy's anniversary, did you?
No, of course not. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Well, I was wondering if maybe you two are going to feel a little at loose ends, you know.
No, I'm fine. But I am worried about your father, and that's what I wanted to speak to you about. I would like you to go over and spend some time with him, try to cheer him up today. It's going to be difficult for him. I think he's going to need it.
Actually, I did make plans with Daddy.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, well, then I'm relieved.
Okay, well, I was worried about you.
No.
Are you going to be okay?
Do not worry about me, as a matter of fact. Ted called and invited me for lunch, and that's certainly an invitation that I can't refuse.
Wait a minute. Where are you? You don't have to go right now, do you?
Honey, I should have left an hour ago. I've got an appointment I'm going to be late for, 2 more stacked up.
Oh, wait, all right. When do we get to see each other again?
Well, soon, I hope. I'm not going to be in town that much longer.
I didn't know that.
Well, I want to spend as much time with you as possible. What?
Do you always get close to people that you do stories on?
I try to get as close as I can. I haven't often wanted to get as close to someone as I've gotten to you. I've never met anyone like you.
Well, I'm flattered. So what do you do, saddle up, move out? No backward glance, is that it?
It's my job. Cece, I travel all over the world. I don't have room in my life for a serious relationship. You don't approve.
Well, I'm in no position to judge, you see. I just don't think casual relationships are very satisfying, no matter how many you've had.
Maybe. But they're better than no relationship at all, aren't they?
I don't know.
You don't approve.
No, not at all.
Does this mean you'd rather not have dinner with me tonight?
No, not at all.
Good. I look forward to it then. Now I really have to go. Mwah.
This is C.C. Capwell. I want you to find out everything you can on a woman named Lydia Saunders.
Well, I just don't think it's any reason to get discouraged yet.
Why, that a kid said a local gang stole his motorcycle?
Well, he doesn't know that. He didn't see it happen. How can he be sure? We'll follow this up. You know, I'll call the highway patrol and see if we can figure out what happened to him.
Probably in Mexico.
I'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah, just a second. It's for you.
Yeah? Uh-huh. Yeah, well, thank you, CW. No, that, please keep it up. Keep checking. We'll check this one out. Yeah.
What are we gonna check?
Well, that was one of my buddies. He's covering the local hospitals.
Did he find something?
Well, I don't know, but there is a guy down at County who's been there since about a week after the fire.
Yeah.
This particular man does have a tooth missing, but don't get all excited about this. He also was in a coma.
Well, that would explain why I haven't heard from him and why we didn't find anything.
Yeah, I suppose it would. I'm gonna check this out.
Not without me, you're not.
I don't think that's necessary.
I'm going with you. Let's go.
I am so glad you've decided to work with Armani.
Heard a lot of good things about the firm. And now that I've met you, I'm even more convinced that having Armani represent my designs is a very strong business move.
Well, thank you very much. I guess it was worth the wait then. I'll have the contracts drawn up right away and get them sent over to you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Well, I hope it's a pleasure doing business, too.
I'm sure it will be. You'll be hearing from us very soon.
Can't say no. You want me to.
It's a very special treat having my son take me to lunch.
Well, good. Sorry it's such a rare one.
Sweet of you to think of it. I just hope you don't feel like you have to babysit me today.
Oh, Mom. You know, you have a crazy self-image. Every time I take you out, I spend half the time persuading you that I am with you because I want to be.
You're right. I'm not being very gracious. I'm sorry.
Oh, Daddy. Honest, this isn't an ambush. I mean, I didn't know they were coming here. I knew Ted was taking her to lunch, but I didn't know that they were going to be here. If you aren't comfortable, you want to go someplace else? It's okay.
Quiet. Fine. I'm not the least bit uncomfortable. I just find it highly ironic that we're sitting in the same restaurant on our anniversary, sitting at separate tables. That's all.
Your father is over there with Eden.
Oh. So she is, huh?
Two of you didn't cook this up, did you?
No, sheer coincidence. Sure. Honest, Mom.
Well, anyway, I'm glad she's with you because I was very worried about how he'd feel today.
I don't understand you two. You guys get a divorce, and yet you're still worried about each other.
I don't think that'll ever change.
I, Channing, Creighton Capital, take thee, Sophia Almonte, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health.
Daddy?
What?
Where were you?
I was just thinking how beautiful she looks.
Oh, Mama?
No, the tablecloth.
Well, maybe we could say hello later. Eden, Cece, what a nice surprise running into you two here.
I thought you were working.
I am. I have a working lunch today. I just wanted to confirm our dinner date for tonight. We are still on, aren't we?
Of course we are. If you're free, of course.
I made a point of being free. I'm looking forward to it. Enjoy your lunch. See you later. Why don't you knock a little louder, Keith? Even if she were in, she wouldn't hear that.
I'm not trying to make an arrest. I just want to see if she's in there. I don't think anybody's in there.
You do that.
Empty. Okay, now you stay out here and you stay in guard and I'll go inside.
Keith. Me, stand guard. What do I look like, a Doberman to you, Keith? No. You see, this is not my job to stand guard. What if someone comes by and they want to deliver something to Julia? Or what if Julia herself wants to come into her own
Show
office?
a little ingenuity, you know? Make little animal noises. You're good at that. Or distract them somehow. I have complete faith in you.
You have complete disregard for me is what you have. Where are you going?
Gonna deliver the mail to Miss Wainwright like I always do. Lady! Lady! Hey, mister, you want to help me? Come on. This lady just passed out with cold.
I don't know what came over me. I'm fine.
Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, may we see him?
What are you doing here?
I had to come here, baby. We've got to be together.
You're really something, aren't you? I mean, you are really amazing.
I beg your pardon.
You waltz into town and you manipulate a news story based very loosely on the truth. And then you have the gall to try to insinuate your way into a family that you are doing your damnedest to tear apart.
I have a feeling you're going to say something you might regret.
And if that's not enough, then you try to move in with the very person that your tacky little news story is about. What do you think? He's a feather in your cap. What do you think he's going to do? Buy your little news station so you can play in it?
My. Do you have any idea how insulting you're being, Mrs. Almonte?
Capwell. Mrs. Capwell.
Oh, I see. I had no idea you were planning on keeping the name. But I guess you have to hold on to something, don't you? Now, for your information, my relationship with your ex-husband goes both ways. And Cece takes a lot of pleasure in it, too. Take a close look at him sometime, why don't you? He's happier than he's been in a long time. He looks a lot younger, too. You know, maybe he was in a rut. Or maybe the excitement had just gone out of his life.
Is that so? Now, is that something Cece told you?
My dear, I think the situation speaks for itself.
Well, here's another situation, Lydia, that has something to say. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry to put a damper on everything.
Mama, what's going on?
I think everything's fine.
What did you say to Sophia?
What did I say to her?
She is the one that threw the drink at me.
Hi. Hello?
Close. Yeah, this surveillance work sure is dull.
Yeah, it's stultifying, but it has to be done.
You know, if Mason really is alive, he'll be very amused to hear all about his funeral.
Please, can we not mention his name for 5 minutes?
Why? I mean, he's the reason we're here.
I just don't want to hear his name for 5 minutes. I think about it, I just don't want to hear it out loud.
Fine.
Wait a second. That sounds like our dynamic duo have returned.
So, you okay?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, just hang in, you know. We should keep focusing on that motorcycle. I'll call the highway patrol, maybe we can get a computer checkout statewide and find out what happened to it.
What did she say? I'm not sure. What does that mean?
She's so dumb, so incompetent. What was that about the motorcycle? What kind of motorcycle was it?
Do I know?
Do I?
Yeah, is this a highway patrol? Oh, hi, Jeff. I didn't recognize your voice. This is Cruz Castillo. Yeah, I need a favor. I need to locate a motorcycle. It's black. It was a 950cc. Just a second, I'll get the license plate number.
What kind of motorcycle?
Don't worry. He's talking to the highway patrol. You can always get the information from them.
Well, how am I gonna get it if I don't know what kind of motorcycle it is?
Yeah, it's 9763T5.
Michael, hi.
Hi, I want to help you find Mason.
Yeah, well, really
can I do?
appreciate it, man.
I thought the bishop told you you were to stay out of this.
He did, but I realized I couldn't do that, and I went back to him, had another talk, I explained, and the bishop gave me his blessing.
Really?
Well, that's great. You know, we have an awful lot of ground to cover, and we can really use the help.
Well, now that's all we need. Now the dynamic duo has God on their side.